Hello and welcome to the Important Sites series of Shikara Academy. So today is our third session. That is, today we will be discussing the important sites that are present in the state of Tamil Nadu. Till now, we have discussed about the important sites that are present in Telangana, and in the session 2, we have discussed the important sites that are present in Andhra Pradesh. Now, today is our session 3 and is part 1 because there are a lot of sites that needs to be covered in the state of Tamil Nadu. So we have divided this present session 3 into two parts, that is part 1 and part 2. Now, when we say the important sites, so the important sites that we will be discussing are the tiger reserves, the elephant reserves, the biosphere reserves, the Ramsar wetland sites, the World Heritage Sites that include the cultural sites, the natural sites, as well as the mixed sites. Then there are certain heritage sites, marine protected areas, the national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, conservation reserves, and the community reserves, all under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. So let's start today's session by discussing the biosphere reserves of Tamil Nadu. Now, Tamil Nadu has three biosphere reserves. Tamil Nadu has three biosphere reserves, that is the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, the Augusta Biosphere Reserve, and the Gulf of Manar Biosphere Reserve. Now, all out of these, the two biosphere reserves, that is Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve as well as the Augusta Biosphere Reserve, are situated partially in the or are spread across partially in the Tamil Nadu. So let's discuss the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. So location, it spreads across three states. This Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve spread across three states, that is Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Karnataka. And it covers the Nilgiris, Erode, and Coimbatore district of Tamil Nadu. It is the first biosphere reserve in India and was established in 1986. Then the geographical features of this biosphere reserve, it lies within the Western Ghats and include Nilgiri Hills, the Boyar Gorge, and the Bhavani Basin. The altitude is 250 meter to over 2600 meter. That the highest point is the Doda Beta Peak, that is in the Western Ghats. Major rivers, because any of the biosphere reserve or any of the protected areas that we talk about, the rivers, they are very important from examination point of view. Okay, frequent questions again and again has been asked for on the rivers that are flowing through the protected areas, be it the UPSC or any of the state public service commissions or any of the different competitive examinations. So the major rivers are the Bhavani River, the Moyar River, Kabini River, the Pyakara River, and the Kaliyar River. And it includes the important protected area. So a biosphere reserve in itself is composed of the different protected areas. So in the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, we have the Mudumalai Biosphere Reserve, Mudumalai National Park, the Bandipur National Park, the Nagarhole Wildlife Sanctuaries, the Silent Valley National Park, and the Sathyamangalam, Mukurthi, and the Aralam reserves. The type of vegetation is the tropical evergreen because it is situated in Western Ghats, very close to the uh, equator. So it has mainly the tropical evergreen type of vegetation, semi-evergreen as well as moist and dry deciduous on the other side of the Western Ghats. And there are also Shola grassland ecosystem. The important flora and fauna, the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve has over 3000 species of the flowering plants, and there is high degree of endemism, that is the plants are of endemic variety, that is they are present in that particular region only. Trees include the teak, rosewood, shola species, the Kulinia, and the Hopia. The fauna includes the tigers, Asian elephants, gaur, sloth bear, Indian leopards, Nilgiri tar, which is the state animal of Tamil Nadu. We have lion-tailed macaque, Nilgiri langur, and Malabar civet. And there are more important species of birds mainly Malabar grey hornbill and Nilgiri flycatcher. These are the some of the important species because the name of species are also asked in the examination, especially in UPSC prelims. They give you the species name and can ask you whether it is a insect or whether it is a species of amphibians, whether it is a species of birds. So the important species of birds are also to be kept in mind. Now, what is the significance of this biosphere reserve? It is the first bioreserve in India. The Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is the first biosphere reserve, and it is a part of the UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Reserves since 2000. Okay, so Man and Biosphere Reserve Program of the UNESCO. This Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is a part of it. Now, it is recognized for exceptional biodiversity and high endemism. Okay, it is a genetic link between multiple protected areas across three states. So it is spread across three states and it encompasses of various protected areas. So this particular Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, it serves as a genetic link between the populations of the uh, endemic animals that are present in this entire region. It is a critical elephant and tiger habitat, and it has under the Project Elephant as well as Project Tiger, and it has also, so along with the names of rivers, the second most important thing to remember is the name of the tribes that are living or are associated with the protected or a given region. That is, many indigenous tribes, they include the Todas, Irulas, the Kurumbas, Badagas, and the Panyas. Okay, and it plays a role in climate regulation, watershed management, ecological. So these are the ecological functions. Now, moving on to the second biosphere reserve, that is the Augusta Malai Biosphere Reserve. So, the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve lies in somewhat north, and the Augusta Malai Biosphere Reserve lies in further south. And this Augusta Malai Biosphere Reserve is spread across two states, that is the Kerala and the Tamil Nadu. So, it is spread across the southern western ghats of Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and covers part of Tirunelveli and Kanyakumari and Thiruvananthapuram districts, and it is named after the Augustamalai Peak that is in Western Ghats. In Nilgiris, we have the Doda Beta Peak that is also in Western Ghats, and the Augustamalai Peak is situated in Western Ghats. The geographical features include it is also part of Western Ghats, and the major peak is Augustamalai Peak, as we have discussed. The important rivers again, we have the Nayar River, that is the main river. Then we have Ramana River, we have Thami Barani River, we have Vamanapuram River, Achanakovil River, and please pardon me for any mispronunciation that is purely unintentional. Thank you. And it also includes, so just like the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, this Augustamalai Biosphere Reserve also includes certain protected areas in itself, including the Kalakard Mudunthuri Tiger Reserve that is in Tamil Nadu, the Pepara and Nayar Wildlife Sanctuary that is in Kerala. Now, the type of vegetation that it has, the tropical wet evergreen, semi-evergreen and moist deciduous, dry deciduous, and the montane shola forest, just as in the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, and it has high level of rainfall and altitudinal variations. Now, important flora includes the trees includes the Kulinia, the Mesua, the Hopia. There are and it has also rich medicinal plants that are used in tribal as well as the Ayurvedic practices. The major fauna includes the species of tiger, the Asian elephants, the gaur, sloth bear, Nilgiri langur, Indian leopard. The endemics include the lion-tailed macaque, the Travancore tortoise, the Malabar civet, and Sri Lanka frogmouth, and also the high diversity of amphibians, high diversity of reptiles, as well as birds. Now, the significance, it is also a biosphere reserve. So, it was designated as a biosphere reserve in 2001 and included in the UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Reserve in 2016. So, both the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve as well as the Augusta Malai Biosphere Reserve are part of the UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Reserves. And it also acts as a gene pool for rare and endemic species. Okay, it is also a major water catchment area for the southern Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Now, the tribes or the tribal groups, the Kani, Paniyan, and other tribal groups are also involved in the traditional medicine and conservation. And it is very sacred for the local communities because this Augusta Malai peak and the associated Augusta Malai Biosphere Reserve is somewhat associated with the, or people associate this Augusta Malai peak with the sage Agastya of the Hindu mythology. Now we have the third biosphere reserve, that is the Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve. Okay, it lies entirely on the coastal region of Tamil Nadu. It is located along the southeastern coast of Tamil Nadu between Rameshwaram and Thoothukudi, and it covers the part of the Ramanathapuram and the Toothukudi districts. It lies in Gulf of Mannar, but this Gulf of Mannar is a shallow bay between India and Sri Lanka. So here is Sri Lanka. So this Gulf of Mannar, it lies between Tamil Nadu coast and the Sri Lanka. And in this Gulf of Mannar, we have this marine biosphere reserve, that is the Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve. The geographical features include it has 21 islands and it has coral reefs, seagrass bed, estuaries, mangroves, and sandy beaches. So, this coral reefs as well as mangroves are two important points to note here. Also, it lies between the Rameshwaram Island and the Tuticorin coast, and it is a part of larger Indo-Pacific coral reef system. So, in Indian Ocean as well as in the Pacific Ocean, we have there is a greater degree or greater uh, occurrence of the coral reefs, and this Gulf of Mannar also is a part of that Indo-Pacific coral reef system. The type of vegetation, as we have discussed, is the mangroves, this seagrass meadows, the coastal tropical dry evergreen forest, and the coral reef associated flora. Okay, it has a rich underwater vegetation that supports the marine biodiversity. Important flora and fauna. So the mangrove species are important. Then there are certain seagrass bed species. In fauna, the key species, the fundamental key species that include is the dugong sea cow. Questions have been asked about the dugong, that is the sea cow. The dolphins, sea horses, green turtles, whale sharks. Then there are coral species such as chorites, favia, and the mollusk, echinoderms, and the crustaceans. So marine life. So it is a marine biodiversity reserve. So it is very rich in the marine biodiversity. Now the significance, it was designated as a biosphere reserve in 1989 and is the first marine biosphere reserve in India. The Gulf of Mannar is the first marine biosphere reserve in India, and the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is the first biosphere reserve of India and recognized as a UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Reserve site since 2001. So all the three biosphere reserves in Tamil Nadu that are associated with Tamil Nadu, like they are recognized as the UNESCO World Biosphere uh, under the UNESCO Network of Man and Biosphere Program. Okay, and it is critical for marine biodiversity conservation. Acts as a natural barrier against coastal erosion and cyclones because of the presence of mangroves. The mangroves are there, so that is why it acts as a natural barrier. It supports the livelihood of our around 1 lakh coastal fisher folk. So these mangrove areas as well as the coral reefs, it provides a very rich marine life. So many different species of fishes are there, and also it provides a very fertile area for the catching of fish. So a lot of fishermen and their communities and their families are dependent on this Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve. Okay, and it is a hub for marine research. Now, after discussing the biosphere reserve, now let's discuss the tiger reserves that are located in the Tamil Nadu. First, we have the Anamalai Tiger Reserve. It is situated in the Western Ghats, Coimbatore and Tirupur districts, and it borders Kerala and the adjoining Parambikulam Tiger Reserve that is in Kerala. Geographical features, it lies in the Anamalai Hills that is a part of the southwestern Ghats, and the elevation ranges from 340 meter to 2500 meters. The major rivers, again the important point regarding the rivers, are the Aliyar River, the Appar River, Chinnar River and the Amravati. These rivers flow through this Anamalai Tiger Reserve, and it also contains some of the important reservoirs, reservoir lakes like the Aliyar, Amravati and the Tirumurti reservoirs. Then there are type of vegetation. It falls under the tropical and subtropical moist broadleaf forest and includes the evergreen, semi-evergreen, moist deciduous and shola grassland ecosystem. And it is the important flora here is the teak, rosewood, terminalia and the bamboo species. The fauna includes a tiger, it is a tiger reserve, tiger, Asian elephants, Indian leopards, gaur, sloth bear. Endemic species, as in the same like the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve and the Augusta Biosphere Reserve, the endemic species of this particular region are line-tailed macaque, Nilgiri tar, Nilgiri langur, and Malabar civet. And the birds that includes the great Indian hornbill as well as the Malabar whistling thrush. The significance, it was declared a tiger reserve in 2008 as part of the Project Tiger under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, and it is critical for the conservation of Western Ghats biodiversity and endemic species. It is important ecological corridor between Parambikulam, Silent Valley and the Iravikulam reserves that all the three are located in Kerala. Also, the tribal communities include the Malasar, the Pulayar and the Kedar tribe community. So these are the tribal groups. Moving on to the second tiger reserve, that is the Kalakard Mundarthuri Tiger Reserve. Mundanthuri Tiger Reserve. That is, it is located in the southern part of the Western Ghats in Tirunelveli and Kanyakumari district of Tamil Nadu, and it lies within the Augusta Malai Biosphere Reserve, as we have already discussed when we were discussing the Augusta Malai Biosphere Reserve. So, this particular Kalakad Mundanthurai Tiger Reserve is located inside or it forms a part of the Augusta Malai Biosphere Reserve. Okay, it encompasses Kalakad, Mundunathurai, and part of the Kalakad reserved forests. Important peaks is the Augusta Malai Peak. Now, the major rivers includes the Tamirabani, the Ramanadi, the Servalekar, and the Gadananathi. Please do not mind the pronunciation. Okay. Then the type of vegetation includes the tropical wet evergreen, semi-evergreen, moist deciduous, dry deciduous. So mainly the tropical vegetation is there. Okay. And the important flora fauna, the Hopia, the Mesua species. There are 1500 species of flowering plants and many of them are endemic to the Western Ghats. The fauna includes tiger, leopard, Asian elephant, sloth bear, endemic species including line-tailed macaque, the Malabar civet, the Travancore tortoise, and rich in biodiversity of the bird life, Malabar grey hornbill, the great Indian hornbill, and the Sri Lankan frogmouth. So the birds of species are, I would say, more important for you to know or for you to remember as compared to the species of the other animals. Now, the significance, it was declared a tiger reserve in 1988 and one of the best preserved ecosystem in the southern Western Ghats. And the catchment area provides the drinking water to over 1.5 million people. The critical part of the Augustamalai Biosphere Reserve, it forms a critical part of the Augustamalai Biosphere Reserve, and we know the Augustamalai Biosphere Reserve is a UNESCO World Network uh, of Biosphere Reserve site, and it is important for climate regulation, watershed protection, and biodiversity conservation. So these are its ecological services that it provides. Then we have the third tiger reserve, that is the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve. It is situated in the Nilgiri district of Tamil Nadu at the tri-junction of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and forms the part of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. It is located in Nilgiri Hills, as the name is suggesting. Important rivers include the Moyar River, which is a tributary of Bhavani, which runs through this reserve, and it borders the Bandipur National Park, that is located in Karnataka, and the Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary, that is located in Kerala, and the Segur Plateau. The type of vegetation includes the tropical moist deciduous, dry deciduous, thorn forest, and scrub forest. The, and there are the important flora includes the teak, bamboo, terminalia, and shoria species. The fauna, same. The tiger is there, the leopard is there, the Asian elephant is there, gaur is there, wild dog, sloth bear. Endemic species, the loin-tailed macaque, Nilgiri langur, Malabar giant squirrel. Bird life include the Malabar dragon, the crested hawk eagle, and the Indian vulture. The significance of the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, that it was declared a tiger reserve in 2007 under Project Tiger under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. It forms a critical wildlife corridor between the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, recognized as part of the Western Ghats UNESCO World Heritage Site as well, and it is significant for genetic exchange among the tiger populations between the Bandipur, Wayanad, and Mudumalai landscape. So, the it forms a corridor for the genetic exchange of the tiger population among the tiger population, because the tiger population is spread in the Bandipur National Park in Karnataka, and the Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary, that is in Kerala, as well as the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, and it supports the indigenous tribes, so the tribal groups, including the Beta Kurumbas, Irulas. Now, moving on to the third, I would say the fourth tiger reserve is the Sathyamangalam Tiger Reserve. It is located in the Erode district of Tamil Nadu at the junction of the eastern and the western Ghats, and lies between the Mudumalai, Bandipur, and the Biligiri Rangaswamy or the BRT Rangaswamy Temple BRT Tiger Reserve. The geographical features include it spread across the Sathyamangalam Forest Division on the Bhavani River Basin. The rivers include the Bhavani, the Moyar, and several seasonal streams. The type of vegetation that it has, it comprises of the dry deciduous, moist deciduous, and thorn forest, because it is situated at a junction of the Western Ghats as well as the Eastern Ghats. Okay, it is a transitional zone between Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats vegetation type. Okay, this question was previously asked, and there is a high chances that in any of the state public service commission examination, this question might again be put up in the prelims examination. Okay, now the important flora includes the terminalia, the bamboo, teak, and the sandalwood, and the fauna includes the tiger, leopard, Indian elephant, the sloth bears, gaur, and wild dog, and it has a notable presence of the black buck in the drier region. So in the drier areas, we have black buck population also. So this has a part of the Eastern Ghats vegetation as well, the Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve. So that is why we also have the black buck population, and black buck we know is the state animal of Andhra Pradesh. The endemic species include the four-horned antelope, the grizzled giant squirrel, and the Indian crocodile. And bird the bird life includes the Indian eagle owl and the white-bellied woodpecker. Now, the significance of this Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve is that it was declared a tiger reserve in the year 2013. That it was fourth in Tamil Nadu. Okay, it was the fourth tiger reserve of the state of Tamil Nadu, and it acts as a key corridor for the tiger movement between eastern and western Ghats, because it is situated at the transition of the eastern Ghats and as well as the western Ghats. So it provides a critical corridor for the movement of the tiger population between the eastern Ghats as well as the western Ghats, and it is a part of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, and it is vital for conserving the genetic diversity and sustaining tiger population. Now, the tribal groups include the Irula, the Kurumbas, and the Soliga groups. Now, the fifth tiger reserve in Tamil Nadu is the Shivalipur Megamalai Tiger Reserve. It is located in Tamil Nadu, spanning in the Virudunagar, Theni, and Madurai district. It formed by combining the Srivilluputur Grizzled Squirrel Wildlife Sanctuary and the Megamalai Wildlife Sanctuary. So it was formed after combining these two wildlife sanctuaries, and it lies in the Western Ghats, close to the Periyar Tiger Reserve, that is in Kerala. The geographical features include it covers past part of the Varushnad Hills and the Megamalai Hills. Both of them are located in Western Ghats. The major rivers include the Vaigai River, the Suruli River, the Varaha River that originate or pass through this reserve. And it also includes the Shola grasslands. The type of vegetation include the tropical, evergreen, semi-evergreen, and there are patches of wetlands and tea estates in the upper elevations. The important flora and fauna includes the trees. We have Terminalia, Chesium, the Hopia, Colinia, and Mesua species, and there are also medicinally rich plants that are also available, that are also present in this Srivilliputur Megamalai Tiger Reserve. The fauna includes the tigers, the leopards, gaur, Asian elephant, sloth bear, Indian giant squirrel. And the endemic species include the grizzled giant squirrel, the lion-tailed macaque, and the Nilgiri tar. Birds include the Malabar grey hornbill, the Oriental bay owl, and others. Now, the significance of this Srivilliputur Megamalai Tiger Reserve is that it was declared a tiger reserve in 2021 and is the fifth tiger reserve in Tamil Nadu. It enhances the connectivity between the Periyar, Kalakard, Mundutheri, Mundanhuari, and Anamalai tiger reserves. Okay, so it provides a connectivity between all these three tiger reserves. That is the Periyar Tiger Reserve or the Kalakard Tiger Reserve and the Anamalai Tiger Reserve. That is in two of them are in Tamil Nadu itself and Periyar Tiger Reserve in Kerala. So it is vital for the Vaigai River rejuvenation, and it protects its catchment area. And it supports the rare and endangered Western Ghats biodiversity, and the it is home to traditional forest dwelling communities. Now, after discussing the Biosphere Reserve, the tiger reserves, now we discuss the important or the elephant reserves in the state of Tamil Nadu. So, the first elephant reserve is the Nilgiri Elephant Reserve. It is located in the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve and which is spread across Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Karnataka. So, Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is spread across three different states. It spreads over part of the Nilgiri, Erode, and Coimbatore and Dharmapuri districts of Tamil Nadu and the adjoining regions in Kerala as well. The geographical features include that it is situated in the Nilgiri Hills, which is part of the Western Ghats. The major rivers include the Moyar River, the Bhavani River, the Kabini River, and the Paikara River. The type of vegetation includes the tropical, moist, deciduous, dry deciduous, and evergreen type of vegetation. There is the flora species, the tree species include teak, rosewood, terminalia, bamboo, and sandalwood. It has the largest wild elephant population in India. So, the Asian elephant, the largest species of, the largest population of the Asian elephant in the country. Other species or the other fauna species, other animals include the tiger, the leopard, gaur, sloth bear, wild dog, Nilgiri langur, and the important birds in this particular Nilgiri Elephant Reserve are the Malabar trogon, the great hornbill, the Nilgiri wood pigeon. Then the significance of the Nilgiri Elephant Reserve is that it is one of the first elephant reserves in India established in 2001 under the Project Elephant, and it forms a part of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, which is UNESCO designated, and it is critical for maintaining the long distance migratory routes of elephants. So that is why it provides a migratory route. That is why maximum number of the highest population of Indian elephant or the Asian elephant is found in the Nilgiri Elephant Reserve. and it helps in conflict mitigation and conservation of Asian elephants across the three states. Three states being the Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. And it plays a key role in biodiversity conservation, watershed protection, and ecotourism. That is, these are the ecosystem services. Moving on to the second elephant reserve, that is the Coimbatore Elephant Reserve. It is located in Tamil Nadu, primarily in the Coimbatore district, and lies on the eastern slopes of the Western Ghats. And it also forms a part of the larger Biosphere Reserve. The geographical features include it's situated on the foothills of the Nilgiri Hills. The major rivers include the Noyal River, the Aliyar River, the Bhavani River flow through the region, and it include part of the Bolampatti, the Thadagam, the Vayalar, and the Madhukari forest ranges. The important vegetation, the type of vegetation include the dry deciduous because it is on the eastern side of the Western Ghats. So eastern sides, eastern sides of the Western Ghats, it receives relatively lesser rainfall as compared to the western side of the Western Ghats. So it is dry deciduous, mainly dry deciduous type of vegetation is there. The important tree species include Terminalia, bamboo, teak, albizia. The fauna includes the Asian elephant, which is the flagship species, the gaur, sloth bear, Indian leopard, and the spotted deer. The bird species include the Indian peafowl, the jungle fowl, and the spotted owl. Now, what is the significance of the Coimbatore Elephant Reserve? Is that it is notified under Project Elephant in 2003 to protect elephant habitats and the corridors, and it acts as a vital corridor between the Nilgiri, Anamalai, and the Sathyamangalam landscapes. And all these three landscapes, that is the Nilgiri, Anamalai, and Sathyamangalam, have larger population or have large populations of the Asian elephant. And this Coimbatore Elephant Reserve provides a better corridor, or it provides a connectivity between all these landscapes. It helps mitigate the human-elephant conflict, and it is important for elephant migration. The next elephant reserve is the Anamalai Elephant Reserve, which is situated in Tamil Nadu, primarily in the Coimbatore and the Tirupur districts, and lies within the Anamalai Hills. And it overlaps significantly with the Anamalai Tiger Reserve. So the forested area, Anamalai Tiger Reserve, and the Anamalai Elephant Reserve, and it has overlapping areas. The geographical features includes the elevation, that is same as in Anamalai Tiger Reserve, we have already discussed. The major rivers, the Aliyar River, the Amravati River, the Chinnar River, and the Uppar River. And it includes important dams and reservoirs like Aliyar Dam or the Aliyar Reservoir, the Amravati Reservoir, and the Tirumurti Reservoir. The type of vegetation, there is tropical evergreen, semi-evergreen, moist deciduous. The important flora or the tree species include the teak, rosewood, terminalia, and medicinal plants, as well as the endemic vegetation. Key species include the Asian elephant, the Bengal tiger, Indian leopard, tiger, sloth bear, wild dog. Endemic species include the lion-tailed macaque, the Nilgiri langur, Nilgiri tar, and Malabar civet. The important birds, the great Indian hornbill, as well as the Malabar whistling thrush. The significance, it was notified in 2003 under the Project Elephant, and is critical for the elephant migration across Tamil Nadu and Kerala border. So across the Tamil Nadu and Kerala border, so the elephant populations, they migrate from one place to the other, and this Anamalai Elephant Reserve provides a very good corridor, a very good link between these regions. Okay, it is integral to the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve and the Western Ghats elephant landscape, and is important for watershed protection, biodiversity conservation, and conflict migration. So these are the eco services that this Anamalai Elephant Reserve provides, and the tribal species, the tribal groups include the Malasar, the Pulayar, and the Kadar tiger or tribal groups. And these groups, these tribal groups, that is the Malasar tribal group, the Malasar tribe, the Pulayar tribe, and the Kadar tribe, they are involved in active participation and conservation as well as in eco development of the particular region. Now, the next tiger reserve is the Shrivalli Elephant Reserve. It is located in Tamil Nadu, covering the parts of Virudhunagar, Tirunelveli, Theni, and Madurai districts, and it overlaps with the Shriveluputtur Grizzled Squirrel Wildlife Sanctuary and part of the Shriveliputtur Megamalai Tiger Reserve, as we have already seen. So, Anamalai Tiger Reserve and Anamalai Elephant Reserve, they share or they share a large amount of their area. Similarly, the Shriveliputtur Elephant Reserve and this Shriveliputtur Megamalai Tiger Reserve also has some overlapping area, and it lies in the southern western Ghats bordering Kerala. The important geographical features include that it encompasses the Varushanad Hills, the Megamalai Hills, and the Shriveliputtur ranges. Average elevation from 300 meters to 2000 meters. Important or the major rivers includes the Vaigai River, the Suruli River, the Varaha River, and their tributaries. The type of vegetation in the Shriveliputtur Elephant Reserve is mainly the tropical evergreen, okay, with patches of grasslands and riverine vegetation. And the important the flora, the tree species includes the Terminalia, the Mesua, the Hopia, and there is endemic as well as the medicinal plants are also present. The flagship species, as it is a elephant reserve, so the flagship species will be the Asian elephant, but the other species are also found, that is the tiger, leopard, gaur, sloth bear, and the Indian giant squirrel. The endemic species are the grizzled giant squirrel, the line-tailed macaque, and the Travancore tortoise. Notable birds, the bird species that are present in the area are the great Indian hornbill, the white-bellied trippi, and the Malabar parakeet. Now, the significance of this Shriveliputtur Elephant Reserve, that it was notified as an elephant reserve under Project Elephant in 2003, and it forms an important migratory corridor. So, elephant reserves are designated; those areas are designated as elephant reserves, which actually provide an important migratory corridor for the uh, elephant population from one area to migrate to the other area. So, important migratory corridor for elephants between the Periyar, the Megamalai, and the KMTF landscape. Also, it enhances the protection of the Vaigai River catchment, and it supports the conservation of Western Ghats biodiversity. The tribal communities include the Paliyans, and the Paliyan tribal group is involved in the eco development and forest protection. Now, last is the Augusta Elephant Reserve. It is located in the southern western Ghats in the Tirunelveli and the Kanyakumari districts of Tamil Nadu, and it forms part of the larger Kalakard Tiger Reserve and lies in the Augusta Biosphere Reserve. So, as with the case of the previous two tiger reserves, like the Anamalai Tiger Reserve, so similarly, this Augusta Tiger Reserve, it also overlaps or it forms part of the Kalakard Tiger Reserve, as well as it is a protected area under the Augusta Biosphere Reserve. The important geographical features will include the Augusta Hills, as it is a part of the Augusta Biosphere Reserve, and the highest peak is the Augusta Peak, and the major rivers will include the Tamirabani, Manimuthur, the Gadanathi, the Ramanadi, and the Karayar, which originate in the region. It also has deep valleys and steep slopes. The type of vegetation is tropical wet evergreen and semi-evergreen, and the flora species include many of the endemic as well as the medicinal plants. The flagship species, as it is an elephant reserve, is the Asian elephant, and the other species include tiger, gaur, Indian leopard, the sloth bear, the Nilgiri langur, and the lion-tailed macaque. Also, the important species of birds are the Sri Lankan frogmouth, the great hornbill, and the Malabar whistling thrush. The significance is that it was designated as a elephant reserve in the year 2003 under Project Elephant and is part of the Augusta Malai Biosphere Reserve, which we know is a UNESCO recognized biosphere reserve. It is critical for elephant conservation and migratory corridors and is important for a watershed protection and climate regulation. And the communities, the tribal communities, include the Kani tribal community as well as the Palyan tribes. So we have discussed the tiger reserves, we have discussed the elephant reserves and the biosphere reserves that are in Tamil Nadu. In part second of the ongoing session, in the second part of the ongoing session, we will be discussing about the Ramsar wetland sites, the World Heritage Sites, the Biodiversity Heritage Sites, the Marine Protected Areas, National Parks, as well as the list of the wildlife sanctuaries, the conservation reserves that are in Tamil Nadu.